Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Ring Lamb, and today I have my holiday book haul. So this book haul comprises of books I bought. I bought a few before the holiday. I received some for Christmas from my family members, and I actually bought some after Christmas with a gift card. So yeah, it's just like a mixture of books I acquired in different places, but I'm going to call it my holiday book haul. The first part of this book haul will comprise of novels, and the second part will comprise of graphic novels slash manga. I'm pretty sure just manga, but I don't know. I don't think they're graphic novels, but we'll just call it that. And I'm going to put a timestamp in the bottom just in case you're here for the manga or, you just want the novels, just so you know which part, in case you want to split it up like that or if you just want to watch the whole thing. Perfectly fine with me. Also, just a side note, if the lighting is changing, I'm very sorry about that. Every time I film, it's just the location I feel like where I film because the light just goes up and down. But anyway, we're going to start with the novels. So the first novel I received was the story of my T5 Valeria Lucelli. I'm probably mispronouncing that, and it's translated by Christina McSweeney. And this book I actually have already read. I'm going to be filming a review, I think, today or sometime next week. And I really enjoyed this one. It's basically about a guy named Gustavo Highway Sanchez. He is an auctioneer, and this story kind of revolves around teeth of famous people, his teeth, and a lot of other things. It's a very hard book to wrap up without really giving anything away, but it was a very interesting read. The next book is one that this is all just like mixed up too. Like some of these books are from family, some of them I bought myself, so I didn't really split them up too much. So it's just me going back and forth between what I bought and, that kind of thing. So the next book is one I picked up, and it's The Book of You by Claire Kendall. I've been really looking around the bargain section, and I looked around at the thrillers part, and this one really stood out to me. This one is about a girl named Clarissa, and she's being stalked by a man, Rafe. It's R-A-F-E. I'm not sure. I've heard it pronounced both ways in like my regular life, but basically Clarissa is on jury duty for this case. She's on jury duty, for this case about this girl being sexually assaulted, and she's finding a lot of parallels to her own life, especially with being stalked by Rafe. And this book I've already read. I'm going to be filming a review of this right after this one because I read it like the beginning of January. It was, I think, my second read of the year. The next book is one I received, and it's Talking as Fast as I Can, From Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls and Everything in Between by Lauren Graham. And I'm a big fan of Gilmore Girls. It's one of my favorites, so I really want to read this. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is, if you've read this, can you please let me know, does this spoil Parenthood in any way? Because I'm going to be watching Parenthood after I finish the last season of Castle. So I want to know, because I don't want to go into this and have like a spoiler about Parenthood or something that could, not even like a spoiler about the whole series, but even like something that could spoil something in seasons 1 or 2. Because I want to go into the show not necessarily blind, but I don't really want to know any spoilers. So if you know that, please let me know. But anyway, I'm really interested in hearing her anecdotes about Gilmore Girls. And I just think, like, from the stuff I've seen of hers, like I've seen a few movies and stuff, I really like her acting. So it'd be great to know more, I guess, about her personal anecdotes and stuff like that. And I've been really getting into more memoirs, so it's always good to read some more. The next book I received was Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a series. I think this is a standalone. This book is basically a retelling of The Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about this. There's been a lot of buzz about this, and I've heard mixed things, but I haven't finished The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I'm currently, I still haven't picked it back up, but I'm halfway through the second book, Scarlet. I really enjoyed Cinder. Scarlet kind of hit a dip for me, but I heard that it gets much better. Cress and Winter are way better books from a lot of the people I talk to, and I really want to get back onto that series, but I thought I should pick up this one in case it is going to be a series, because I want to be in the loop for this one, because Lunar Chronicles so many people love, and not that it's like, oh, I always have to feel like I'm in the loop or that thing, but sometimes I feel like, because I'm not into the Throne of Glass series or the Court of Mist and Fury series, and a lot of these big ones are being talked about I haven't read. So I kind of want to be in the loop for something, because when I'm watching a lot of people's videos, they're so enthusiastic about these big series and I can't relate. So it's kind of nice to, join the bandwagon for some of them. Even though I do read a lot of books that a lot of people read, I'm just saying. I haven't read a lot of the big ones. Like, I haven't read Harry Potter. I haven't read any Sarah J. Maas. Like, I own the first book of the Throne of Glass. So I want to be in the loop a bit. I want to be in touch with reality. Please. Anyway, from my pleas and my random segue talking about life and books, I actually received Hungry Heart, Adventures in Life, Love, and Writing by Jennifer Weiner. This is her memoir, And I am like really excited to read this one. This is one of the ones I'm most excited to read. This is just essays about her, and if you don't know about her, she is actually an author. She's wrote a lot of books, and I think it'd be interesting to read a memoir from an author's perspective, because usually the memoirs I write, they're from like authors, but it's because they authored their own memoir. They're not like actual authors, like they're not, or they're authors like they wrote like children's books or chapter books, but they're also like actors or actresses or something like that. I don't think I've ever read a memoir from an author's perspective, so I thought that'd be really interesting. Also, just in case you're confused, because I know I'm mentioning books I received and saying like why I wanted them kind of thing, my family members, like my extended family and my like immediate family, they usually ask for lists of books I want because they wouldn't know what to pick out for me. So these books I put on a list and they just picked a few from the list, and that's kind of how they did that. So when I'm saying I like wanted to read it because of this, it's not they randomly picked it out for me. Just to let you know, like sometimes some of my family members do that, but usually because they don't know how, like they don't know what books I own and what I don't own and what I really like to read. A lot of them know I love to read, but they don't really know my reading tastes because they don't really inquire into that. But the next book I received was Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke, or Rilke. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this. This one I believe is a modern classic, it would be. And it's basically a series of remarkable responses to a young would-be poet on poetry and on surviving as a sensitive observer in a harsh world. And it's a short book. It's poetry. If you watch my resolutions video or like my goals for this year for in terms of reading, or like I forget what reading wrap up, I think that was what I called it. I'm not 100% sure. The one I posted last weekend. I basically was talking about how I want to expand my genres, and I really want to read more poetry. And this is, I think, a good foray. Not only is it kind of like a classic, but I'm pretty sure this would be considered classic. I'm not 100% sure though. But anyway, even if it is a classic and a poetry book, like double score. Like I'm just trying to branch out a bit more where I feel comfortable. Like I'm not super comfortable with like fantasy genres as much or action and adventure, but I'm trying to branch out in other ways because I want to become a more well-rounded reader. And that's something I'm always striving for, like a lot of people. So, you know, trying to branch out from just reading like all contemporary and some thrillers. Like I'm trying to move out. The next book I received was My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies by Frederick Backman. This is the author of A Man Called Uwe, which, if you recall, I've reviewed this as one of my favorite books of 2015. And last year I actually reviewed the film. I'll try to remember to link both videos below. But this book is based about Elsa's granny and, I guess, stories about her. I don't want to know too much because I went to A Man Called Pretty Uwe. I'm sorry if I slip up and say that's how I see it, so I pronounce it that way, and I know that's wrong. But I'm really excited to read more of his works. I just really love his writing style, and I know he has this book, and Britt Marie Was Here out, so once I finish this one, I'll probably go after the Britt Marie Was Here one, because I really want to read more of his works. I just find his writing really refreshing. And the next book I received was First Light by Bill Ramsey. This book not only has a really pretty cover, this is like really what attracted me to it, but also I saw this one all over my Instagram because I follow the author and Juliana Rancic, because if you recognize those names, she was a host of E! News, and they had a reality show which I watched, and I saw the cover and then I looked into it and it looked really interesting. And it's really hard for me to sum this up because it has quite a lengthy synopsis, but it's about Daniel and Carrie, and basically they're expecting their first child, they're engaged, they're flying home, and their plane, something happens, like their plane crashes, and it's just stories about how they kind of survive. I'm really baffled on how to explain this without reading the whole synopsis, like just trying to sum it up quickly for you guys. So I'm going to try to remember to put all the book links to Goodreads down below. I usually don't do that because I usually forget, but I know it's super helpful, and I find it super helpful when I watch others' videos. So I'm trying to, you know, be more conscious of my viewers and that kind of thing, like what would be best so they can look up the books easier. So I'll try to remember to link that down below if it sounds interesting to you. The next two books I received are part of a series, and it's Nowhere But Here and Walk the Edge, both by Katie McGarry. This is the first and second book in the Thunder Road series. And I have read Katie McGarry's whole Pushing the Limits series, and I really do enjoy that. And I heard some people that had mixed reviews about it, like Pushing the Limits, or really favorable reviews, and some people that, like, I watch, like a lot of people, I watch a mixture of people on BookTube, and one of the people that I watch that's a really harsh critic, like, fair but harsh, like, they're very critical about their reads, where I'm not a very, like, I'm critical, but, like, more positive critical, I'd say. I'm not really a harsh critic with certain things, unless something really aggravates me. which is what I always try to say in my reviews. Like, I read more for fun and pleasure, and when I'm reviewing something, I'm reviewing it from a perspective of fun. But this person was reviewing this series critically and said they loved it, and I really trust their opinions, and especially if it's somebody like that is reading it from a critical like advantage, I really feel comfortable saying that I think I'm going to enjoy this series. And it's about basically, it's like the Push and Limit series where it's in different perspectives, and it's about, I'm pretty sure, a motorcycle club and how this girl gets like entangled with them. Something like that. The next book is one that I picked up, and it's actually a replacement copy. I own this book. I lent it out to 2 people when I was in high school. They gave it back to me, and I know that for sure. And I think I put it in my locker, and I think it got mixed up with some papers, and I accidentally threw it out. Because I've looked all around my room, can't find it. So I thought it's about time I pick up a new copy, because I do want to reread this series this summer potentially, so I really want to have another copy of it. And that is On the Bright Side, I'm Now the Girlfriend of a Sex God by Louise Renaissance. This is the 2nd book in the Angus Thong series, and I really want to reread this series potentially this summer because I just feel like reading it again. I haven't read it since I was in high school, and I've even grade 8s, like even like elementary school, so it's been a long time, and I just really want to reread it, so I thought better pick up the book when I'm thinking of it, because I always forget, and after I order the books I'm always like, oh, I should have picked it up, but I always forget to. That was all the novels I picked up, and now we're moving on to the manga, which I just believe it's just manga. I don't think it's graphic novels. I'm going to have to look up the definitions for those and, you know, make sure I'm on the right track, but I know for sure it's manga. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right. People are telling me I was pronouncing it, because I was pronouncing it manga, because sometimes when I'm talking fast, and especially on video, I just pronounce the words as I see them, and I see manga, so I pronounce it manga, but it's manga with an H in there, like H sounding, yeah. Anyway, basically, if you have been watching my videos for a little while, you'll know I've been collecting the Sailor Moon series, which is like around this area if it's in frame. And basically, I've been trying to find them on Book Outlet when they go up there. So 4 got put on Book Outlet early December, and I just hadn't hauled them yet because I hadn't had a book haul. So I picked up, so it's the Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian series. I picked up, I was going to say season 5, book 5, and let me turn it over, book 6. And then they also had there's only 2 volumes in the series, so they have both volumes of Codename Sailor V, and I'm actually going to turn them over. So this is the first one, and this is the second one. And this series is basically like the precursor to Sailor Moon. I think this is a series a creator created. It didn't really pick up steam too much, and then he created Sailor Moon, and that really took off. I think that's the story of how it goes. I could be completely off basis, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. And I'm probably going to read Sailor V soon because I'm really excited. I'm getting more into graphic novels. I know I'm only branching out with Sailor Moon. Like, people will be like, oh, it's not too much of a branch, because I did watch the TV show when I was younger and absolutely loved it. But I'm trying to read more graphic novels. It's just, it pains me to spend that much. Like, when I find them on sale, I love them. But it pains me to spend so much when I read them so little. But the next ones I actually bought because I couldn't find them anywhere. And it was actually a recommendation, and I'm just going to go. So the next 4 graphic novels, they are actually bind-ups, and this was a recommendation from Steph from the Book Hopper. She saw my last haul, I believe, that I was hauling Sailor Moon books, and she recommended 2 TV or animes, but they also like both have graphic novels attached to them. And the ones I'm really interested in, I watched 11 episodes of the TV show. I'm still going with it. And yeah, I was really happy with this recommendation. So Steph, if you're watching this, thank you so much for the recommendation. It's a really good series. Problematic a bit, but I really enjoy it, and I'm going to link her channel in the down bar, so definitely go check that out. But it was maid-sama. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Probably not. But this is volumes 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8. And I was unsure of whether to buy these right away, but since I had a gift card, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I'm really excited. I want to start volumes 1 or 2 in the next 1 or 2 weeks. I think this is just like more like a book I'd read on the weekend, because I don't want to cart this to school because it won't take me long to get through it. And also, once I get through, I think I just want to sit down and like really delve into it and not have to, you know, like just read in 5 minutes before class. But yes, that's my book haul. Sorry this has been quite a long video, but I couldn't really help. It was quite a large one. And yeah, if you've read any of these books, definitely let me know what you think. Obviously spoiler free, as we know. And yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye.